Hi, and welcome to the BookishStitcher podcast. I don't think we're quite ready to start. I started anyways. My name is Jeanette. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Goodreads as BookishStitcher, all one word. This is my husband, Will.
Hi.
I coerced him into coming in because, as you will see, it's just been Ravellenics knitting, and so I was like, I have nothing to show. Will you come on the podcast?
I'm here to distract from the fact that there's no normal content.
Yes,
I guess. Yeah.
You are.
That's the
but
plan.
you
That's
weren't
the plan.
supposed to tell them that there's...
Yeah, I thought you just did.
I kind of did. It's late at night here on Saturday. You're going to be seeing this on Sunday, but it's late here Saturday night, so that's why we're a little bit silly. But what was I going to say? Oh my gosh, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who came out and supported Open Sky's first yarn update. And if you came and looked at the shop or favorited it, or if you got some yarn, thank you. And to the people who have already gone and rated their yarn and taken pictures everywhere, thank you so much. And I'm excited for people to get their yarn in because I packaged it up really cutely.
Yeah, it was very exciting to see all of it. So thank you guys very much. It was awesome.
And he totally surprised me by having that at the end of last week, so that was fun. But they're packaged pretty cutely, and there's some extras in there which he helped me with. And he helped scanning up yarn and everything, which we'll see later. But I'm gonna go. Well, we're gonna pour ourselves Saturday. It's Saturday night, even though you're seeing this on Sunday. So we're gonna have wine and knitting. So I'll read it. Well, I'll read it and I'll let you pour it. But so we have some Nagori sake. Sake ga suki desu. I like sake, kind of, I guess. But it's product of Japan, and that's what it looks like. Whoa, blown out. See? I can't read the hiragana of that, but it's a pretty bottle. And this is creamy sake, passes through a mesh, and is coarsely filtered. This process gives sayuri, which I believe is cherry blossom, maybe, a refreshing aroma, natural sweetness, and a smooth aftertaste. So it says to shake. There you go. Where did we get this at?
World Market.
Okay.
Right?
World Market has, I think you are right, yeah. World Market has a lot of interesting choice stuff.
So it's fun.
Watch the table.
And like a good Japanese food, it was weird, and there was stuff on the bottom of it that you shake in. So that's the creamy part.
You know what I've been thinking of asking you guys? If anybody out there would like a short video, I'd probably put it on YouTube of just me speaking a couple of the different languages or all of them. I've recently taken up, I think I said, German and Italian.
That one.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. I would do French and Spanish and Russian.
Mm-hmm.
What else? German,
Japanese,
German, Italian.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, I could
and English. You know some English too.
I do know a little bit of English, but the words are getting mixed up sometimes. But yeah. So do you want to try this and then you can show your project?
Sure.
Whoa, that's strong.
It's a -11 on the sake meter value.
Ooh, I have
I
water.
No idea what that means. So.
I'm probably going to switch to the water because
I
don't really drink alcohol.
Your usual drinking is, I had 2 sips. Do you want the rest? And I try real hard and don't quite make it either.
Okay, so you can go with your project.
Yeah. My project is a big surprise that you've never seen before. It's my Doctor Who scarf that I've been working on for the last 20 years of my life. And
just don't dip it in the sake.
But, yeah. Well, there's a tradition of that on this podcast. Maybe I should. But there's my pizza marker. This is where I was last time on the cast, so I actually did some knitting.
Yeah, you got a lot done.
Not 4 rows a day every day, but it's
you
something.
Want me to hold it up for you?
It's sure.
I can put it in the middle.
So, and my goal for this has always been to maybe be I'm terrible person. 7th, 4th Doctor.
Oh, we're such bad fans.
Anyways, of Doctor Who for Halloween, and so my goal has dropped dramatically from getting it all done by this Halloween to maybe if I work really hard,
Yeah.
I can get it just long enough to look like a normal scarf.
Yeah.
And
I wish that you
just
could
go
just
with
wrap
it.
it around you,
Yeah.
still on a needle or something. You could be knitting while we're trick-or-treating.
I could.
That would be awesome.
It's pretty easy.
But he's
And then
found
I have special skills.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
He's found the value of the progress markers because he can see how far he's come, but you want to show your special skills.
And I'm trying real hard to get to the next stripe. But yeah, it's been working. Special skills. I just noticed a couple of sad things about this scarf. One of them being this hole, and I thought it was a drop stitch. And she studied it and said, no, it's just a yarn over. And then somewhere around up here, I completely botched something, and you saved it from death. And then I had this awesome skills. Where did it go? I gotta find this thing because it's hilarious.
Isn't it up high? I don't know.
There was a point, and I don't see it now, but there was a point where I looked at it, I was like, that looks kind of weird, and realized that I had stopped at some point halfway through a row, and then when I picked it up, I went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so I accidentally made myself a short row.
Yeah, you created a short row.
That was special.
It maybe even more than one. Was it more than one or just one?
It was kind of 2 rows because I did like one all the way down, and then when I was coming back, I stopped short and then went back all the way, and then went back. So like there's 2 extra stitches on one side versus the other, 2 extra rows on one side versus the other. So. But
he's working on it consistently.
So, yeah.
When he was helping me get the yarn ready and stuff like that, he didn't knit on it those few days, but yeah,
true.
He's been seeing a knit on that now while I show. I don't know why I'm taking your sake. Mine's over there.
Because you know you want some. It's awesome.
Man, that stuff is strong.
It is.
Okay, so I have been working monogamously this week. Basically, I did take, like when my kids had swimming, I did have a project that I worked on that was not this because I feel like working on a little sock in public is different than working on a giant poncho on my lap. But this is the Calla by Annie Baker, and I'm knitting it out of some Brooks Farms Solo Silk, and it is enormous. This is the yarn I'm using. We're podcasting at night, so I have a whole bunch of lights on, but I feel like the lighting's still pretty good. I'm very pale, though, but I'm pale in normal light. But this is I chose to do the turtleneck version, and I don't know if I'll keep this or if it'll go to Janet, Oma Janet, my dad's wife. But there's a lot of purple going on me right now. A purple shirt, and then I almost put on a purple shawl because it's kind of cold, but there's that. And then I was here last week, and I was going to do the math to find out, my Matryoshka stitch marker, I was going to do the math to find out how many stitches are on it now because the rows are getting a lot longer, but I chose not to.
And this is the same week that you did all of your yarn store stuff.
Yeah.
You got that far. That's I know you don't feel like it's a lot, but it's pretty good.
Well,
it's good.
I'm feeling good now. I feel like I'm going to make the end goal because when I started off this, I just needed to do, I think, 12 grams a day to finish. And then I lost momentum. And then I need to do 15 grams a day to finish. And then on Wednesday, it was I needed to do 20 grams a day to finish. And it's like, I'm not going to be able to get it done. And then somehow, Friday, I pulled out over 20. And today, if I, knit some tonight, if we watch more Sherlock, we've been rewatching Sherlock, then I should get over 20 today, and that means that tomorrow I can probably pull it out. Now, I don't ever normally show, what I'm going to be casting on next or something, but I did want to show this because I'm going with friends tomorrow downtown to have a cast-on party. And it's so funny because we all got this colorway separately, but at the same time, kind of. And so it was kind of funny. And so we're going to get together and cast it on. And this is some Night Owl fibers. And Rachel and her mom dye the yarn, and she's so sweet. So Night Owl fibers, and it is the Sherlock Holmes colorway. It's gorgeous. And I love how there's little flecks of darker blue in this lighter blue color. So these will be socks for you.
Nice.
I think there's enough yardage. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I haven't finished the other socks for you that I have on the needles, but let's start some new ones. But yeah, so I'm excited to go with my friends and cast on. But I have to find some needles because I kind of have a plethora of sock whips right now.
Are you short on needles?
Yeah.
You know where they have needles?
At the yarn.
I heard they have them at the yarn store.
And one of my friends that's going happens to own a yarn store.
Just do a little under the table deal. She can bring some and pay her some cash.
Yeah.
Neat.
But so I just wanted to say such a big thank you to everyone, and kind of have a funny story because my friend Kim, who's yarning for a smile, messaged me, and I'm so glad it was you, Kim. She messaged me and she's like, I bought something from your store and I'm the first one and I don't know, I should be knitting all the time, and I don't know what I bought. I was like, what? And was it you who said, oh, is that still up or something? Was it you who said that?
Yeah, because you put up, yeah.
Okay, so I had planned on, I don't know if you guys have seen, but I have a purse that I absolutely love. And it is this fabric of birds on branches, and it's pretty background and the red birds. It's very cheerful. And so I went and I searched everywhere online for a picture of this fabric, and I found somebody had made a pillow out of it. So I just took that picture and I put it up on the thing. I just wanted to kind of feel around how doing an Etsy listing worked. And I put that up there, and I didn't realize I hadn't taken it down.
So there's just this picture sitting up there of this fabric. It says, Happy Birds.
It's a pillow. Somebody else.
$27. And it was just like, if somebody bought your test posting, we should have probably taken that down before you made your announcement.
But I'm so glad it was Kim, because anybody else I probably would have felt super nervous. But Kim, she's so sweet and just so laid back about stuff. And so she was like, I want you to have complete design control. Just make me something. Because I asked her, I said, you could have a custom colorway of any of the Les Mis ones if you wanted. She said, nope, come up with something completely, just something new. And so, Kim, you're getting the very first one. And yes, you're getting the very first one. I will probably put up pre-orders for it in September if people want, or I might just dye up like one or two and then that would be all there was. But since the yarn store is called Open Skies Yarn, I thought it would be fun seasonally to have a different special colorway for the season and how the sky looks during that season.
I want to see the winter one too.
I know, I was thinking about the winter one.
That would be cool.
I thought it might, I thought it might be cool to do a sock blank with like a winter theme or something.
Ooh.
I don't know, I haven't done, I never realized this about myself, but when I go into something, I'm like, let's do all of these things. I don't just like pick one thing. Like when I first started knitting, and I was like, let's knit a cable sweater.
I'll paint the sock blank for you.
He's amazing.
Yeah, because remember when I was doing the watercolors with Jaden, and I made that like really terrible picture of the snow falling in the trees.
I don't remember that.
There was like a cardinal on it, and the cardinal looked like like some kind of.
No, you're so good. He
really messed up mechanical bird.
But so he does amazing chalk art. Like when we're doing chalk art with our kids, he's like getting into the shading and everything. He does amazing stuff. But anyways,
you're good too.
No.
Yeah.
But so anyways, I made a colorway for Kim, and I kind of stalked your Ravelry page, Kim, to see what you liked. And so she had like golds and purples, and then she said that she loved fall colors. And I was like, ooh, it's almost fall, it's almost autumn. I want to create something for that because I'm feeling very much, it's in the stores now. You can kind of see pumpkin stuff and everything. So it's still a little bit wet, but I wound it up into the skein so that I could show it what it will look in the skein, and then I'm going to unwind it and show it like that and then let it finish drying by the fan. But so this is called, what did I decide to call it? Oh, Fall Skies. So I took inspiration from a picture. I've never, living in Texas my whole life, he grew up in Indiana. Indiana gets fall colors,
you
right?
Get great colors.
Okay,
Oh,
Texas does not. In this part of Texas, you get green leaves and then you get no leaves.
Yeah.
There are a couple trees that get colors,
you get the Spanish oaks that turn, the red oaks that turn red.
But not like I saw in New York last year.
Yeah.
I was just amazed because at the beauty of it. So I had this picture that I had taken on Instagram of this blue sky and then all the fall foliage. And so I dyed a yarn to look like that. So this is called and it's going to be blowing out a little bit. Can you put your hand up so it's kind of blocking the light?
Sure.
But over, like right over there. Yeah. So this is called Fall Skies.
I turn it over for the full.
And it has the blue of the sky, and then we have this light golden yellow merging to these shades of orange, to this dark brown of the leaves, and then to this I'm still turning it, beautiful red. And I think this is going to be so pretty. So I'm going to take it out of the skein really fast.
You gotta hold it up like this, like by the blue.
Oh, by the blue? Can you do it then?
Yeah,
Because you have taller arms than I do. What do you like?
It just reminds me like a slice of a Bob Ross painting or something. It's like the sky and like
happy fall trees.
There you go. Same thought.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's what it looks like. There's the sky, and there's the red leaves and the browns. So yeah, it's kind of, you were saying it's kind of like a watercolor painting kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, oops. That is, can you put it over there to dry on that?
Poop it.
Yeah, you don't have to get up. You could just do it right there.
I got up. It's too late.
But yeah, so I hope you like that, Kim. It was fun kind of coming up with it. I had it originally without the red, and then I was like, it needs red. It needs red for the red leaves.
I was curious. So, I don't know. Maybe this is not something you can talk about on the podcast, but like, you always pull a book out of the shelf, and sometimes it's one you just finished, and sometimes it's one that you read a while ago. But what all are you reading like right now? Because you're reading like 8 books a month. Maybe not, but
he was telling me that he was like, I have questions for you on the podcast.
I have interview questions.
Reading, it's on my Goodreads. I'm reading Brooklyn, and that one that you're reading to me at night. He reads a book to me at night, which I'm
enjoying. But every night before I start reading again, I need to tell her what I read the night before, because I'm reading her to sleep, so mission accomplished. But she just like has no interest in the book.
I'm getting so red.
But it's just like,
it's a science fiction.
It's science
book,
fiction,
but
it's
it's hardcore science fiction. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard.
Yeah. So it's not like really philosophizing at all. It's
There's
not
a
really
lot of interesting story details.
Fantasy or anything. It's like, yeah, it's still like big and space opera-y, but it's not. I don't know. Anyways,
and what's that
I like
one
it a lot.
called?
A Fire Upon the Deep.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like a Hugo winner and everything, but I'm enjoying it very much. Like, this is crazy. I gotta stop before I read these 10 pages, and I gotta read these all at once in one night.
Yeah, he'll just stop reading.
And yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm reading ahead. Sorry.
I gotta find the right place to stop, and I read ahead a lot. So, but it's fine. It's not her thing, but it is kind of fun.
And then I'm reading. I just started Maze Runner. So what are you reading right now?
I am reading. Mostly, I'm reading the book to you at night.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible at actually sitting down and reading.
Oh, you're not.
But no, actually, I mean, the knitting in there is actually quite fun. So I like just sitting with you and doing that in my couple of minutes. But I'm also reading that Robert Reich book that I've been trying to finish.
What's it called again?
It is called Beyond Outrage, which I read one of his books previously called Super Capitalism, which was awesome. I really liked that one, and it was very enlightening. Some like shocking graphs and charts and all kinds of very amazing insight and stuff. Anyways, if you're into that, this one's not quite been as gripping to me. It's just kind of been it's a book. It's fine. So I haven't finished it very quickly. And then once I finish that, then I'll get back to finishing Ruthless Trust, which I'm pretty close to finishing, which is a good book if you know it. It's very good. But
because how many books you're shooting for 12 books this year?
Yeah, and I think I'm maybe up to like 5.
But if you need to around the last month of the year, you can read a whole bunch of really
very bad. I'll just grab a bunch of books. Yeah, I have my shelf all stacked up with like what I'm reading next, and it's like serious novel, nonfiction, serious novel, nonfiction. I need just like some give me your latest like Maze Runner when you're done with it.
Yeah, and you read Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is
you
one.
loved that.
That was very, so that was very recent. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks I read that. I was very quick. Listen to it. But yeah.
I'm doing Maze Runner right now. Like I said, you might like that one too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely. That would be an easy one to pop off.
Yeah.
I read those kind of books in like 2 nights. So.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There was something else I really wanted to read recently. I was like, can I buy this on Audible? But I'm blanking on what it was.
Your Star Wars book too.
I do have the Star Wars book to read, and I've got the Golem and the Djinn or whatever that was that you got me last Christmas.
Yes.
That I'm very excited to read. So
I kind of want to read it.
Got some good ones coming up, but I got to clear off the backlog first.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. Yeah. So between all the insanity of fall and school starting and all the activities for the kids, what do you've been brainstorming a little bit for the next theme, but that's not coming yet for your yarn.
Oh, stuff. For the yarn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the next theme is going to be. I think I was telling you that I probably, because you were asking how often I was going to do a theme.
Because it took a lot to come up with this one and like piece it all together. Yeah. Yeah,
and that many colorways. But I think I'm going to do a theme every 2 months or so. Like introduce the theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then have a big update with all the colorways of that theme and some custom orders. And then the next month, bring back some of those colors, but try them on a different base. Because I only dyed one of each this time on one, different bases and stuff.
So you can like focus back on some of like the ones that people seem to like more. Or,
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Like if you guys have ones that you want to see again, at the end of the day was the runaway, like it sold out first. Like it was the first one, like right after I posted it was gone. And then custom orders for it are just coming in. I think that's about a third of the custom orders has been that one. And I would never have predicted it, but I can see it because people are ready for fall, which hopefully that color people will like too. The one that is like the fall trees.
I love it. That's my new favorite, I think.
Is it your favorite? That's cool.
But, yeah.
But yeah, so there will only be a new theme every 2 months. So, and I'm not going to, there's no way I could have like, oh, I'm introducing a new theme, but I'm going to dye all the Les Mis yarns this month too. Yeah. I'm going to be dyeing 50 million skeins of yarn.
It's one thing, which is still impressive when people do like an update of like 30 of a skein. Like, yeah, there are only 30 of these available. But to do like, I'm doing 30 completely different ones.
Yeah, new theme with this 12 and
nightmare.
Then this 16 from this last theme. I couldn't do that. And it was funny because people kept saying to me like, oh, Les Mis, that's so original. But I'm sure Les Mis has been done before. I have no doubt that some indie dyer out there or somebody has done either a song from it or some version on it, because I just, there's so much yarn out there that I don't even know about. And I've been knitting since the beginning of Ravelry.
There you go. It's like I wonder if knitting yarn design is. I just thought of this as a stupid thought, but it's like if knitting is at the point of like postmodern yarn colors, where like all the yarn colors have already been done. So now it's just today's creative people. It's all up there in your brains, and it's just coming out in some combination that you don't even realize. Like inspired by old things that you've seen before, pieced together.
Yeah, and I take my inspiration a lot from like pictures and stuff that I see like in the movie or things. But I'm sure that it's been done, and I feel like I have no desire to try to be like create this most original thing and be because I just want to find something I love, a movie that I love, a book that I love, and just make yarn that makes me smile and think of it and hope that you like it too. I'm not going to try to be super original. And
I like that you didn't restrain yourself to not trying to brag on you. But I like you didn't like this is going to be a solids theme, or like, it's all going to be this kind of yarn or whatever. You're like, I think this would be appropriate as this. And like, this is going to have a splash of different colors. This is going to be like 2 colors. This is going to be 4 colors. Like,
that was kind of crazy of me, though.
Yeah, it was. It was very bold. You just kind of went for it. It was cool.
I didn't think about that. Like, I have now, I think, dyed in every different, I've done variegated, I've done speckled, I've done tonal. I did a solid. I did like two-toned, maybe. I don't know what you would call it. If there's a certain name, I don't know everything. But
yeah, I love seeing your not manic, but your creativity in that time. You're like, because that first night when you're like, okay, yeah, Les Mis, that'd be a good theme, and you're like watching the movie, you're like scrolling down all these notes, like this song could be this or this or this, and those colors are good at this minute and this second. And you're like, I don't know, it was just fun.
And then you came in, and we ended up watching it together.
Yeah.
And
but I made it past all the crying parts. Like I started watching after
at the end.
After
though.
pretty much all of it. Yeah.
You did tear up at the end because. Was it during the? Do you hear the?
Well, it was at the I don't know.
And
when the kids were dying.
Yeah. Oh.
So that was basically.
I think we were both sobbing and looking at each other crying.
Yep. A little bit.
But yeah. So, anyways, I'm just gonna die yarn of themes that I love.
Mm.
If there's a theme that you would like me to do, maybe we love some of the same themes, or maybe you could introduce me to the next thing that I'm going to love. Like maybe you're like, oh, this TV show is amazing, like Stranger Things. Have you watched it? It's great. But yeah, so I'm not saying there will be a Stranger Things theme, but it's a possibility. It'd be like theme of the 80s. It's like my big sister introduced me to all the cool 80s things. But yeah, that's going to be the basic thing. So if there's a color...
If somebody suggests Yo Gabba Gabba as the theme, I'm not letting you do it.
Is it a kid's show?
The scary kid show.
Oh.
With all the scary things.
I even think
I'm
our
sorry.
kids
I just totally threw that conversation off track. I just thought like,
oh wait, is that the one
with a dude that's like a conductor and then like all the
in
like
the
a weird
jumpsuit?
And all the weird creatures that are brightly colored.
Kids didn't watch that.
No.
Anyway, but if there's a colorway, side tangent, if there's a colorway from the Les Mis that you love but didn't get because you were saving up for a yarn festival, or you're waiting for just any reason, because people have different reasons, and there will be another chance to get it in September. And I'm not saying I will never dye the Les Mis ones up again, because I don't want to. I'm just going to give myself full freedom. That's what I'm going to do.
That's right. I'm just run down. A lot of manual labor around the house today.
Our floor is finally going to be fixed in the next few weeks.
I've been getting the floor ready because that glue is real hard to get off. And then the tile guys are coming this week, so.
Oh, they are?
I had to get it. Well, that's what he said.
Okay.
We'll see
Fingers
if they
crossed.
actually follow up, but very soon. So I had to get ready.
Yeah.
That was a lot. But.
And I forgot to say that my project is in my Mrs. Brown's Matrushka bag. And you know what I realized this week? I don't have a Matrushka mug. Because I was trying to get a mug to match with my coffee and my knitting. And I was like, I don't have a Matrushka mug.
Don't get one. Forget about it, and I'll fix that around Christmas.
But, okay, so...
I didn't say anything.
My book this week is this one. Symphony for the City of the Dead. Do you want to say?
Mm-hmm.
Dmitry
Shostakovich. And Siege of Leningrad.
Yep.
Which we went out and bought Symphony No. 7 after this, just to have it.
Yeah, I planned to spin to it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I thought that would be... Because it talks so okay. Shostakovich he's deceased now, was a famous composer, and he lived in Leningrad. I think he was born during the time of Lenin, but this all occurred during Stalin's time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is about when World War II, when Germany decided to come and kind of take over Russia. And you can jump in with anything that you know. But so Germany decided, and this kind of sad parts of World War II, but that they weren't going to waste shells and things on the Russian people. They decided they were lower than animals, so they were just they hired a nutritionist, talks about in this book. They were to ask, how long will it take for these people to starve? And so they were just going to let them die, basically, because they didn't even the Germans did not consider the Russian people even humans. And it's sad and very, what the Russian people were having to go through in Leningrad, or St. Petersburg, I prefer to say. But They were eating wallpaper and paste, and they were dying, and like there were instances of cannibalism, like a lot, and it became like a big charge. I bookmarked a page, but anyways, so Shostakovich was a composer, and he had been writing during this time, and he was getting famous, and Stalin didn't like that. So one of his symphonies, Stalin decided to kind of say was that it was just a mess and it was horrible. And kind of they knew at the time if Stalin said that about you, that it was over and that you were probably going to be either put in a prison camp or killed.
Yeah.
But for some weird reason that didn't happen to him, and they don't know if it was because of his worldwide appeal, like in America and all around the world he was kind of famous. So Stalin couldn't take him out. But so then the war started, and he started composing a symphony, and he was very involved, and he felt a very big love for his city of Leningrad, and he did get out of Leningrad, and he went to Moscow. And I loved how they talked about him as a person, because he's amazing, right? He's the most amazing composer, but he was so humble. And he never wanted anything for himself. Like, he wouldn't even take, like, an extra blanket for himself. But for his wife, for his children, for his family members, he would do anything for them. But he didn't want any special treatment for himself.
He was very Russian.
I just loved that. I loved how humble and just very, and the cover of this book is beautiful. That's kind of what drew me in. And it has tons and tons of pictures of there. It's just, I can't even, like, there's so many pictures. It's about half pictures, but there's, and some of these pictures I won't show because they're really heartbreaking, but there's pictures of people that are starving in Leningrad, and I don't even know how these pictures were taken, because some of them are really, like, raw, but, and kind of, like, there are people, it gets cold in Russia, in case you didn't know. You probably did know. In the winters, that's why Germany didn't win, because their tanks and stuff all froze. They hadn't planned, to have to go through the Russian winter. But look, they had blown out this wall, and so people didn't even have four walls around them, and the snow was just in, and people were freezing to death, and they didn't have any food. And this book was just tragic, and it really, one thing I love was it showed how much Russians love music. And they would play the music over the loudspeaker, and it would just, the people kept alive because they wanted to hear his symphony that they knew he was writing. And they, like the musicians, when they got the symphony, they would stumble into work without any food. And there was a rumor that he put so many different instruments into the symphony in different parts because the musicians would get more food. And so he wanted more people, because if you were in it, he wanted more people to get higher food rations. I could
get an extra 50 people to get.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I just wanted to read one little bit and then in the podcast, because it's already longer than I thought it would be. But can't find where it was that I wanted to read. Is that it? Basically, it was talking about how Russia lost more people in this siege than America has ever lost in all of its wars combined. Since the Revolution, since, the beginning with the British. But it lost more, and it lost more than anybody else in the war. And, okay, here it is. On January 14th, 1944, the last vestige of German Army Group North was finally forced away from Leningrad. The citizens who were left in the city, not many, only 575,000, down from 2.5 million at the beginning of the siege, climbed onto their rooftops to watch the final shelling. On January 27th, General Gorbachev declared, "The city of Leningrad has been entirely liberated." The siege had lasted 872 days, the longest siege in recorded history. And this book just had so many wonderful information.
Wasn't there also a bit where like a recording got out and got to the U.S. and that like?
The U.S. wanted it because they had become allies with Britain and the U.S. and Russia, and so the U.S. wanted his symphony to kind of make the American people happy about sending all this aid over to Russia, because the Russians viewed it as, we're giving all our lives, because Hitler had to be split then, because Hitler was trying to fight war in Russia and he had split himself. So they were like, we're giving all our lives, and you're just giving us food. So they weren't as grateful for the food as the Americans felt they should be. And so the president wanted to kind of make everybody kind of sympathize for the Russians more, to kind of create a good feeling between the countries. And so they wanted the symphony to play. And this symphony, on these little, like, pieces of, like, oh, I forget what they called it, but whatever they transported them in, like little little magnified things, traveled basically around the world twice.
Like microfilm?
Yes, microfilm. Okay. Traveled around, I'm so tired, traveled around the world twice, basically in distance.
Wow.
To get, because it went like here and there, yeah, all around, and then because they couldn't take it in a normal route, because the Germans were all,
that's amazing. They
couldn't get out. But yeah, so that is Symphony for the City of the Dead. And I forgot who, I didn't even say who it was by. M.T. Anderson, winner of the National Book Award. And this is a wonderful history book, very informative. And I think it was actually in the teen section. So, yeah. But that's all I have for this week. And you already finished all your sake.
Yes.
Do you want mine?
Get down to business. I'll have it later.
Okay.
I'm good now.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching this week, guys. I hope you have a great week and you get to do all the things you love. Okay, bye.